Well, hello folks, Sty here. Okay, we're going to do us a little video, topic-based video. This is a topic that was recommended by one of you viewers. I really appreciate all of these suggestions. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Oh, excuse me. Let me take a quick sip of coffee. Swallow the cough, right? My nice big old mossy oak cup. Oh, that hit the spot. I think Sny's good to go. Okay, now this particular viewer suggested this video, and their suggestion was, let's have a talk about pocket knives. Well, I think the topic's a great topic, actually. I don't know why I never thought of it. That's what I got you folks for. Do the thinking for me, would you? Okay, anyway. On the subject of pocket knives, there's a lot of... most guys out there carry a pocket knife. I say most because most of the guys I know carry a pocket knife. However, it's surprising how often I've been in situations where I've asked the guy next to me, hey, you got a pocket knife that I could use? And they go, no, I don't carry a pocket knife. And I go, what? Why in the world don't you carry a pocket knife? Well, then they look at you like, there's Mr. Stupid talking to me like I'm stupid. He ain't got no pocket knife. He's asking me for one, so don't get preachy with me. If you haven't got a pocket knife in your pocket, why are you saying I should have one? Goes back to Sty's practice what you preach, you know. I always carry a pocket knife with me. What pocket knife should a person carry? As far as Sty is concerned, that's your personal preference. Now, I see people carrying, you know, fairly large, flip-open, locking blade, self-defense style knives. They think, well, yeah, I'm carrying a pocket knife because it fit my pocket. That's not a true pocket knife. In my mind, at least, but to me, it's not a true pocket knife. A pocket knife is something you're going to drop in your pocket and forget it's there until you need it. So, I figured I should show you some examples of what Sty typically is carrying around as a pocket knife. But then I got to thinking, I started looking around the house and dug in my pockets and realized that there's only a couple that I have close at hand around my place here. Otherwise, I know I've got one in the glove box of my truck, I've got one in the armrest of my truck, I've got one in a backpack that's in the back of my truck. I've got little folder pocket knives all over the place. But you think I could find any for the video? Not really. Except what I have that I typically I'm packing around with me. So let's get right to it, and we'll take a look at what Sty carries around for pocket knives and what Sty thinks of different pocket knives and their reasoning for having them with you in the first place. Okay. First of all, I adjust a little bit here. First of all, this is my everyday carry. You won't find me without this knife. I carry it no matter where I go, no matter what I'm doing. It's always with me, always. I carry it at work. I carry it everywhere. And this is it. Hopefully we can get this. This tiny little pocket knife. You can see it's quite small. It's got a good locking blade. I don't know if that's going to focus. Yeah, sure it will. It's a little Winchester. Single blade, stainless steel. The whole thing's stainless steel. This knife I've been carrying around for, going on 28 years now. About 28 years. You'd be amazed. I'm amazed that Sty hasn't lost the darn thing. But I like this knife so much. If it's not in my pocket, I know it. Usually, and that's why it's got a ring on it, usually it's hanging from a carabiner from my belt. So it's quick and handy whenever I want it. And I don't have to dig in my pockets for it. But this has been a sturdy little bugger. It's also a very sharp little bugger. I keep a heck of a razor's edge on it. I strop this knife at least twice a week, even if I'm not using it. I always hit it with the strop. Keep that fine razor sharp edge to it. But this little bugger has come in so handy and has done so many things for me. In fact, one time I went out with a fella just hiking, and we had nothing with us. I mean, nothing. All we had with us was what was in our pockets and a hiking stick. And we're hiking down this creek. And it was getting kind of hungry out. So I told this fella, I said, we need to eat something. He says, we didn't bring nothing to eat. I said, we don't have to, it's right out here. He goes, what? And, well, at that time, I had a habit of wearing a cowboy hat most of the time. This was in the late summer. It was hot out, so I'm wearing a straw kind of cowboy hat. Always had some monofilament line wrapped around that hat. I said, let's catch us some trout, and we'll have us trout. And that means we don't have to turn around and get back so quick because we're too darn hungry. We'll eat some trout and we put in a few extra hours today. He says, well, okay, sure, if you think we can. So I took this little knife. I cut myself a couple of really nice whips of sapling, and I made 2 fishing poles. Tied a couple of flies that were stuck in my hat on the lines, and we proceeded to fish the little pools and ponds up that creek. We caught ourselves each a bunch of beautiful brook trout. This little knife, that's all I needed. Clean them trout right up with that little knife. Cut ourselves some forked sticks to cook them over a fire. We had ourselves some really nice trout. But it made it real easy having just this little bugger right there in my pocket, ready to use. I've used this to make feather sticks sitting around the campfire and sit there and just make myself a bunch of little fires, feather sticks for the fire. Get a pile of them sitting there. I've sat and whittled with this just for the fun of it. cut a lot of cordage with this, a ton of cordage with this. It's handy, it's small. It's a great little pocket knife. Little bugger fits right down in your pocket. Like I said, you hardly know what's there. Okay, now a lot of people say, well, yeah, it's a good cutting tool, and but that's all you're going to do with it is use it as a cutting tool. Now actually, I'm going to give it a shot, but I don't know how, if I can even get it on the camera. But I don't know if you can see the sparks or not, but it's throwing sparks. That's a stainless steel knife. People say you cannot get a spark off a ferro rod with a stainless steel knife. I've started a lot of fires using this as a striker on my ferro rod. Some stainless steel knives I've had a heck of a time. Just couldn't do it. This one, it's got a good enough 90-degree edge, and it'll strike a fire. If I have to use it. I always have a striker with my ferro rod anyway. Okay, that's the first pocket knife. Another one that I've got with me almost all the time. It's at least within reach. And now everybody's going to say, oh, well, yeah, we've all seen those. This is not a Swiss Army. It's a Swiss Army mock-up, off-brand. Same functions as a Swiss Army knife. To me, it's just the right size. To me, this is a medium, close to large pocket knife. It's not that terribly heavy. It's got some heft to it, but not a lot. It's got all of the tools that a typical Swiss Army has. Oh, it's got the corkscrew, it's got the Phillips screwdriver, flat screwdriver, it's got the awl, it's got the file, you name it, it's got it. It's got the bottle opener, can opener, it's got the little worthless saw. To me, these little saws on these things are generally worthless. Use it to cut cheese. Here's another thing that I think is worthless in these Swiss Army knives and these multi-kit kind of knives is this little scissors. They're just, I mean, what do I need a scissor for? I got the cutting blade. What, are you going to try to really, are you going to really use those to cut? No. No, that's just a waste of space. It makes people feel important, I guess, to have a scissor in their pocket knife. And then, of course, the main blade. Now this one, again, I keep that puppy just razor sharp. Strop that bugger. Whenever I'm stropping a knife, I end up stropping 3 or 4. So keep it stropped and keep it nice and sharp. The only drawback with this compared to that Winchester I showed you is it is not a locking blade. It does not lock. You have to watch that. If you're poking into something with this, watch your fingers, boy. If that thing flops over on you, you're going to cut yourself pretty good. And of course, it's got the little tweezers in the side and the infamous toothpick. Everybody's got to have a toothpick, boy. You're not going to find anything out there in the woods to pick your teeth with. You better have it built into your knife. So, anyway, it's still a sweet little pocket knife, and I carry that around with me, like I said, almost anywhere I go. It's like the Winchester. Especially when I'm outdoors, this thing, I just slip it in one of my cargo pants pockets and just have it along. Another thing that I like with this is it does have a sheath. Doesn't need a sheath, it's pocket sized. But you can pop that in the sheath and you can go ahead and put that on your belt. Carry it on your belt if you want, out of the way. But it's technically a pocket knife. And it's a good one. I don't think it was very expensive. I think I paid $10 for it or something like that. Now that Winchester was a little more expensive. I think I paid $18 for this Winchester, but it's lasted me over 28 years, so I think I got my $18 for it. Okay, now the only other two pocket knives that Stey's got around them, they're not pocket knives in the sense that this is a pocket knife that's a knife, just a knife. This one is a pocket knife that's got all the little tricky things to go with it, but it's still just a knife. Here's the one I carry. I carry this around with me quite a bit because it's considered my beater. Hopefully that'll focus. It's an old timer. And what this is, it's a whittling knife. And I like to carry that around my pocket. I like to whittle. I'm not a good whittler. I don't think I'm ever going there on a video. Yeah, let's watch Stey cut his fingers off, you know, trying to whittle something. But this old timer, they're rather cheap. They're about $20. And it's got the main cutting blade. Whoop. Now when I bought this, they were rated pretty good. And I thought, well, let's see. When I got it, I thought I'll be able to use this right out of the box, you know. Not really. I did use it right out of the box, but the knife needed to be sharpened and stropped because it does not come to you sharp. Old timers just aren't what they used to be. Now, the thing with this old timer is, like I said, it's a whittling knife. It's got, I'm trying to open it up so that you can get a good look at everything it's got. It's got several different blades to it. It's got your main cutting blade. This is a V blade that works like almost like a gouge. It's got this really nice scoop blade. Boy, if you're whittling spoons or bowls or cups, that comes in real handy. It's got this nice rounded curved blade. That again, for hollowing things out, is awesome. And then it's got this round tipped gouge, and that is another thing that just comes in handy as can be. You can have a lot of fun whittling with this knife, and I've used it many times when setting up camp, using the primary knife for cutting cordage, whittling tent stakes, just doing small wood crafting chores around the camp with this old timer, $20 old timer. It's a good old knife. But my last knife, and it doesn't come with a sheath, so that's a pocket knife you're going to put in your pocket because there's no sheath for it. Okay, now the next knife and last one is this puppy. Whoops. This is a carving jack. This is not a cheap knife. I'm not even going to throw a price out to you because I don't know what they're going for now. But they're not cheap. I'm telling you, they are not cheap. This knife has everything that old timer's got. The open her up a little. Okay, it's got the primary blade right here. It's got a flat blade. Hope you can see that. It's got a flat blade here. It's got the same V-gouge that the old timer has. It has that same rounded gouge. It's got the same style curved blade, and it's got the spoon blade right here. Now the thing is this thing right out of the package cuts your finger off. It comes to you razor sharp. It's carbon steel, keeps a wonderful edge. Keep it stropped, stays super sharp. It's lighter than the old timer, but oddly enough, it feels much more durable. Now what I really like about the carbon jack versus the old timer is this. Whoops. Locking blades. The old timer's blades do not lock. There's the old timer. It's in the full open position. Just fold her over, boys, and they fold over pretty easy. So you could have a fold over incident, cut your fingers pretty good with it, with an old timer. But I'll tell you what, with this carbon jack, it's a lot safer knife. So it keeps an edge a lot better. Plus when you get it, you can use it the day you get it. You don't have to sharpen it. I rarely take a knife out of the package and cut with it. I gotta sharpen it before I use it. But, so that's my preferred carry along multi-purpose knife over the Swiss Army knife, much over the Swiss Army knife. This one I'm a little more careful with, because like I said, they're expensive. Look it up. Carbon jack. Yeah, they're spendy. But they come with a sheath also. So if you don't want to just carry that loose in your pocket and risk dropping it and losing it, comes with an awesome leather sheath. You can wear that puppy on your belt and never lose it. But then it's not a pocket knife anymore. So if you don't have any pockets, put it in the sheath. If you got pockets, drop it in the pocket. So there you go. That's Sty and some of his pocket knives. I say some because, like I said, I've got them all over the place. I got them in my truck. I got them in my trailer. I got them. Yeah, I've got pocket knives all over the place. So, I hope you enjoyed that little visit on the knife, the pocket knife issue. And we're going to wrap it up at that. And I'd like to hear what you carry for a pocket knife. Do you carry a pocket knife? Do you always have one in your pocket? In case Sty needs to say to you, hey, have you got a pocket knife I could use for a second? In case Sty's not carrying his. Okay, so there you go, folks. Little talk on pocket knives. So, like I said, let's hear from you. What do you carry for a pocket knife? And we'll move on. I'm going to try to get out a Sty story or two yet today, and we'll take it from there. So until then, thanks for tagging along, and you all have a very nice day. Bye-bye.